responsibility of waste generated by you. Package your waste properly to be taken to certified dump sites. Avoid dumping waste in gutters and waterways. Participate in community cleanup initiatives. 2. The ministry have reintroduced sanitary inspectors who, together with enforcement team, will be deployed to conduct regular inspections throughout the state. They will assess compliance levels and provide guidance to those who may need assistance with proper waste disposal practices. Please cooperate with them. 3. Activities of private waste managers in the state have been banned forthwith until an appropriate operational permits are obtained from the Ministry of Waste Management and Resource Innovations. 4. Illegal dumping of waste by any private waste managers shall henceforth attract a fine of 350,000 naira only and their utility truck confiscated. 5. Illegal dumping of waste by an individual shall henceforth attract a fine of 150,000 naira only. 6. Cleanliness starts from your home. Be a part of the solution and not part of the pollution. If you can't clean up your surroundings, then don't make it dirty. 1. Who maintains cleanliness keep away diseases. Follow cleanliness to kill tomorrow diseases. Together, we can create a cleaner, greener, and healthier Taraba. Announcer, Philibus Daniel Adamu, Permanent Secretary. The Honorable Commissioner.
Good evening. You're welcome to the broadcast of news at 9 p.m. on Psalm TV, the Pulse of the Nation. You can also follow us on Facebook at Psalm TV and on YouTube at Psalm TV Live. Now the major headlines. On national news, deadly military attack in Taraba's Mongo Doso and Monga Lalau communities of Karim Lamido local government area, Taraba State, and scores were killed as mass burial was held for victims of military attack in Taraba State. Taraba governor condemns violent attack, vows justice and security boost. Gombe government rescues 14-year-old girl from forced marriage in Taraba, promises legal action. International news. Orthodox monk injured in Mount Athos clash amid long-standing monastic disputes. Business news. The Naira is expected to remain stable in the short term as encountered by measures from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Entertainment news. The video Cubana chief priest meets Speaker Abbas highlights music role in national unity. Sport news. Gateway Games 2024 top Nigerian table tennis stars begin medal hunt in Abeokuta. I am Bridget James, and now the news in full. Reports indicate that a brutal attack has claimed the lives of scores of residents in the Monga Doso and Monga Lelau communities, both located within the Karim Lamido local government area of Taraba State. The assailants, suspected to be members of a Fulani military group, launched a sudden and violent assault on the two communities, indiscriminately shooting at anyone in sight. This unprovoked violence threw the communities into utter chaos, causing widespread fear and panic among the inhabitants. Comrade Vincent Sani Dadia, president of the Biquin Community Development Union, spoke to the Jalingo Times online newspaper editor, confirming the devastating attack. He disclosed that the military not only caused loss of lives, but also destroyed many houses, leaving numerous families homeless and traumatized. The destruction of property alongside the loss of lives has deepened the suffering of the communities, which are still reeling for the attack. Authorities and local leaders are yet to provide details, updates on the security response or any efforts to aid the victim. Meanwhile, the residents of Mongo Dosa and Monga Lelau are appealing for urgent assistance and protection to prevent further attack and restore peace to the affected areas. The incidents highlight ongoing tensions in the regions and raises serious concerns about the safety and security of vulnerable communities in Taraba State. Following yesterday's attack on the Munga Lelau community, a mass burial was held today to honor the victims. Comrade Vincent Sani Dadia, president of the Biquen Community Development Union, confirmed that the final rites took place around 3 p.m. He stated that no fewer than 30 people lost their lives during the assault by Marauding militia. In a statement to press, Emmanuel Bello, Special Advisor on Media and Digital Communication to the Governor of Taraba State, reported that Governor Dr. Agbo Kefres has strongly condemned the recent violent attack in Karim Lamido, which resulted in significant loss of lives and property. The governor expressed sorrow for the victims and emphasized that such violence hinders the state progress. He assured that perpetrators will face justice and reaffirmed his commitment to securing the state. The statement called for increased collaboration between residents and security agencies to maintain vigilance and report suspicious activities, with measures in place to prevent further violence and restore peace. Going to Adamawa State now, the Nigerian Customs Service, through its Special Enforcement Team, Operation Winewheel, has seized smuggled premium motor spirits valued at over 63 million naira, along with 5 vehicles in Adamawa State, near the border with Cameroon. Speaking at a press briefing in Yola, Controller General Adewale Adeniyi, represented by the Operations National Coordinator, reaffirmed the federal government's commitment to curbing economic sabotage. He also acknowledged the support of other security agencies and called on local communities to assist by sharing vital intelligence. Sun TV correspondent Ojoma Yusuf completes the report.
NCS has intercepted smuggled premium motor spirit PMS valued at 63 million naira and 5 vehicles in Adamawa State, near the border with the Republic of Cameroon. The seizure was carried out by Operation Wild Wing, a special enforcement team under NCS, which intensified patrol along unapproved routes in the region. Controller General of Customs Adewale Adeniyi disclosed this during a press briefing in Yola on Friday, as he was represented by Hussaini Ajibunu, the National Coordinator of Operation Wild Wing. Adeniyi stated that the operation aligns with President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration's on commitment to curbing economic sabotage. He commended the cooperation of other security agencies and local stakeholders, urging communities to provide intelligence to help combat smuggling. Also speaking at the briefing, Mrs. Adewumi Aliko, Assistant Legal Advisor for Operation Wild Wing from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation, stressed the government's resolve to ensure that petroleum products meant for domestic consumption remains within Nigeria.
This press conference is purposely organized to inform the general public on the service unrelenting efforts in tackling smuggling activities through effective border surveillance and to improve on the existing collaboration with the critical stakeholders in the transborder supply chain. It is with joy I bring to your notice that Operation Whirlwind had intercepted and seized numerous smuggled items within the period of 5 weeks in unapproved routes across the borderlines in Adamawa. In short, while the esteemed National Coordinator of Operation Whirlwind, Assistant Controller General of Customs HK Ejibono, will give you the general overview of the successes recorded so far. Please stay tuned. The media, we thank you and request you to continue with the advocacy campaign against smuggling activities. The stakeholders and the patriotic Nigerians, we request your continued collaboration in curtailing the illegal activities of the smugglers through shared intelligence. This would
Ojama Yusuf for Sun TV.
The Gombe state government has stepped in to protect a 14-year-old girl who fled a forced marriage in Taraba State, with the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Social Development, Asmao Ignatius, vowing legal action to safeguard the minor's rights. The girl, who alleged repeated physical and sexual abuse by her husband, who already has 2 wives, received relief items and support from the state, including a promise to help her continue her education. Iganus emphasized the government's zero tolerance for gender-based violence and underage marriage, adding that officials will challenge any court proceedings violating the girl's rights. Zamfara State has released long-withheld WAEC and NECO exam results after clearing debt totaling over 1.7 billion to the exam bodies. This move ends years of delays affecting students from 2014 to 2022, enabling them to access certificates needed for further education and jobs. Since taking office in 2023, Governor Dauda Lawal's administration has also renovated schools, retrained teachers, and funded exam fees to improve education in the state. 13 passengers, including 8 students traveling to Bilay in the Gurme local government of Rivers State for their WAEC exam, were abducted by pirates on May 6th along the Port Harcourt-Bilay waterways. The abductors have since demanded a 100 million naira ransom. Dr. Asaki Miller, a former youth leader from Bilay, expressed deep concern over the victim's safety and urged security agencies and state authorities to intervene. One security personnel among the captives was reportedly released last week. Rivers State Police says efforts are ongoing to rescue the remaining hostage and apprehend the perpetrators. Governor Abdullahi Sule of Nasarawa State has commissioned the newly completed 12.1-kilometer Mararaban-Rinze-Angwan Zaria route in Angwan local government area. The 3.99 billion naira road project aims to improve rural infrastructure and boost local economic activities. At the commissioning on Friday, the governor reaffirms his administration's commitment to rural development and praised the efforts of the State Bureau for Rural Development and project contractors. Local government chairman Safian Andaha commended the initiative, noting the road's importance for transportation and commerce in the area. The Cross River State political network has endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Governor Basi Oti of the All Progressive Congress for re-election in 2027. The endorsement was announced during a rally at UJ Nwese Sports Stadium with supporters from all 6 local government areas of the state, Southern Senatorial District in attendance. Cripson Director General Dr. Michael Ngu Abio reaffirmed the group's long-standing support for the APC and appealed to President Tinubu to address federal neglect of Cross Rivers, including poor infrastructure and limited federal appointments. Governor Otu, speaking via phone due to his absence at the security meeting in Abuja, expressed appreciation and promised inclusive development across the states. Police in Delta State have arrested 4 suspected kidnappers and recovered 3 million naira in ransom. According to police spokesperson Bright Adefe, the suspect confessed the money was part of a 4 million naira ransom collected for a woman abducted in Angaho using a wooden gun. The victims, who was held for 3 days, identified 4 of the 8 paraded suspects. She supported being assaulted during the abductions and said one attacker claimed to be a former Boko Haram member. The suspect reportedly came from Taraba, Yobe, and Kano State. Mr. Adafe urged residents to assist police efforts by reporting criminal activities in the community. A coalition of civil society organizations has condemned the abduction and killing of 4-year-old Ayman Abubakar in Sokoto State, demanding justice and urgent protection measures for children. The Network Against Child Trafficking, Abuse and Labor Child Protection Network and the Sokoto SGBV Child Protection Response Team called for a thorough investigation, prosecution of perpetrators, and reinforced child safety system in public spaces at the press conference. IAM's father, Dr. Abubakar, urged public and media support, recounting that his son disappeared on March 29th and was found dead on May 15th. Multiple suspects are in custody with the investigations ongoing. The Chioma Abia organization has inaugurated a new executive committee for Obingwa Council in Abia State, urging members to emulate Governor Alex Oti's leadership and commitment to good governance. The inauguration, held in Aba, was led by South Zonal Chairman Okema Nzogwe, who emphasized the group's mission to extend the benefits of effective governance to all parts of the state. Obingwa Local Government Area Coordinator Ezingma Kanu pledged to ensure the organization's message reaches every resident of the council. In Zamfara State, Governor Dauda Lawal has cleared outstanding debts to examination bodies, enabling students to finally receive their WAEC and NECO results after years of delay. Additionally, NLNG has empowered 28 youths in Rivers State with 140 million naira, while INCOPS has begun a nationwide cultural reorientation campaign in Kano. Abia State plans to introduce 20 electric buses for urban transport without affecting private operators. The NNPC Foundation has emphasized efforts to tackle food insecurity by supporting vulnerable farmers. Politically, opposition leaders are working to resolve internal division, and President Tinubu remains committed to his anti-corruption fight despite defection. Security agencies have intensified operations against terrorists, highlighting increased collaboration and vigilance. Report has it that training aircraft from the International Aviation College in Ilorin met an emergency landing on May 23, 2025, resulting in a non-fatal accident involving the pilot and instructor. Both individuals were quickly hospitalized and are currently stable. The Kwara State Governor expressed relief over the incidents and commended the prompt response of the college and medical teams. Investigations by the National Safety Investigation Bureau and the Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority are complete, with officials' report pending. The state government reaffirmed its commitment to safety and assured the public of measures to prevent future occurrences. Report has it that Ebonyi State government has called on mining investors to uphold the rights of host communities and enhance their social responsibilities. Speaking at the conference in Abakaliki, officials emphasized the state-rich mineral resources and urged adherence to community development agreements. Concerns were raised about environmental and human rights abuses linked to mining activities, including pollution and land degradation. The government highlighted progress in resolving disputes between mining firms and communities and enforcing regulations against illegal mining. Industry leaders stressed the need for responsible mining to protect both people's health and the environment. Report has it that the Idoma Area Traditional Council has urged the federal and Benue state government to strengthen security measures in Idoma lands amidst recurring attack by suspected armed herdsmen. The call followed an emergency meeting held on May 21, 2025 in Otopo, where leaders condemned the violence and expressed condolences to the victims' family. The council recommended increased patrol deployment of more security personnel, conflict resolution training and enforcement of existing laws, including the open grazing prohibitions and renters establishment law. They also called for dialogue among community stakeholders and urged Fulani herdsmen to vacate farmlands to prevent further clashes. The council commended security agencies for their efforts and emphasized the need for vigilance and cooperation to maintain peace. The federal government will begin urgent palliative repairs on deteriorating expansion joints among the bridge on the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway. Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Mr. Olukorede Kasha, announced this following a crash at Arepo bus stop caused by structural failure at one of the joints. Priority repairs will focus on the Kara, Arepo, and Magboro bridges. A contractor has been directed to start immediate short-term work pending full rehabilitation approval. Kesha highlighted vandalism as a major factor worsening infrastructure conditions and urged public cooperation in protecting national assets. Additionally, the opening of the Lotto Bridge interchange has been delayed due to damage caused by an accident involving low-bed truck, setting back completion by several months. The government reaffirmed its commitment to safer roads and appealed for patience and vigilance from citizens. Residents of Kawara community in Birnin Kebbi local government area have urged Governor Nasir Idris to intervene in an illegal land grab linked to a road construction project. A community spokesperson, Alhaji Bello Muhammad, says the senior officials from the Kebbi State Ministry of Land instructed the contractor to divert the road, potentially enabling land appropriation for personnel gain. The road, funded by the federal government's Nigerian Rural Assets and Mobility Project, aimed to connect 9 villages with strong agricultural and economic potential. The community appealed for swift action to prevent hardship and affirmed their support for the government. Gunmen attacked and killed a family of 4, including 3 women and an elderly man, in their home in Iseke, Ihela local government area of Alambra State on Thursday. The victims, identified as family of Ichir Kennedy Inagugo of Ekuro Iseke, were found dead in their rooms after the assailants invaded while they were sleeping. The motive behind the attack remains unknown. Anambra State Police spokesperson SP Tochukwu Ikenga confirmed the incident, stating that joint security forces have secured the area and the bodies have been taken to the mortuary. Investigations are ongoing with police working to apprehend those responsible. The police also extended condolences to the victims' families and assured the public of continued security efforts in the region. The Bauchi Legacy legislature have commended President Tinubu's administration for advancing operations at the Kolmani oil field and urged full exploitation of its resources. They also called for the construction of key dams and highlights to boost development and employment in the northeast. The recent groundbreaking of the Bauchi Oil and Gas Academy underscores the government's commitment to supporting the region's oil and gas industry. The Kogi State government has reaffirmed its commitment to ensuring security across the state, with Commissioner for Information, Kingsley Femi Fanwo, assuring that concrete measures are in place to address insecurity while acknowledging some challenges in Yagba West and alleged threats to churches in Yagba East. He emphasized that the situations being managed carefully to prevent escalation. Fanwo highlighted collaboration with national security agencies and praised local security groups like the Okon Hunters for their role in maintaining peace. He urged the media to avoid amplifying criminal physiological tactics and called on citizens to provide intelligence to security agencies. The government expressed gratitude to President Tinubu for supporting security efforts, including the deployment of helicopters, and reaffirmed its determination to secure Kogi from terror threats. Nearly 3 years after the deadly attack on St. Francis Catholic Church in Owo, Ondo State, suspected bandits have threatened to strike the church again. The original attack on June 5, 2022, left several worshippers dead and injured. The community. Let's take a brief commercial break. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Super Media Television. Please don't go away.
Beautiful people, my name is Indy Maxine Weir and I am the International Coordinator of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival. I am here to tell you so much about this film festival and how you can participate and benefit from this film festival. So talking about film festivals, I'm sure you've heard of the popular ones like the Toronto International Film Festival, the Berlin International Film Festival, and of course you have the Venice International Film Festivals who have made impact, global impact over the years on the film industry.
Welcome back. President Bola Tinubu congratulated former Ekiti Deputy Governor Professor Madupe Adelabu on her 75th birthday, praising her contributions to education and her recent book on education policy. He also celebrated Senator Magun Abe of Rivers State on his 60th birthday, acknowledging his efforts in promoting peace and unity in the Niger Delta and his political partnership with the president. The Nigerian Senate has passed a bill to establish the Federal Medical Center in Kafanchang, Kaduna State, with presidential approval already granted. The center aims to improve access to specialist healthcare, reduce travel burdens for patients, create jobs, and boost economic development in southern Kaduna. The bill now moves to a joint committee for final harmonization before presidential ascent. Senator Sunday Khatum praised the development as a key step towards better healthcare infrastructure and regional growth. The Castino State Police Command thwarted a kidnapping attempt on May 22nd, killing one suspected bandit and rescuing 5 injured victims. The incident occurred in Ogowa Lado and Karo village of Malum Fashi local government area, led by the division police officer. Operatives engaged their assailants in a gunfight, neutralizing notorious bandits Audu Gashin. The injured victims were taken to Malum Fashi General Hospital for treatment. Police Commissioner Bello Shehu commended the officers' efforts and urged the police to continue providing information to aid ongoing security operations. The Akwa Ibom APC has welcomed Governor Umo Anno's planned defections from the PDP, calling a strategic move that will strengthen the state's connection to the federal government. Confirmed by the governor, who instructed his commissioner to either defect with him or resign the move. This move is expected to foster collaboration with Senate President Godswill Akpabio and accelerate development projects like the Ibom Deep Seaport. APC's Media Network Director General Inyobong John praised Eno's leadership and assured support for his re-election, urging party members to warmly receive new entrants from the PDP to build a stronger party in Akwa Ibom State. Oziomena Shadrach Chukwubuka of Team Enugu aimed to teach the semi-finals in the boxing middleweight 70 to 75 kg, the ongoing 2024 National Sport Festival in Ogun State. The rising boxer said he is prepared for his quarter-final match and focused on winning a medal for Enugu State. My target is to reach the semi-final, one game at a time, he stated, adding that winning goal remained his ultimate goal. Chukwuebuka expressed confidence in his preparations and determination to make Enugu State proud. Osun State Governor Ademola Adeleke has eased the curfew in the conflict-affected communities of Ifon, Lobo, and Erin Osun, shifting it to 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. starting May 25th, 2025. The move follows improved peace ahead of the Eid el-Kabir festival. Security forces will maintain round-the-clock surveillance, and traditional leaders are urged to ensure continued harmony with legal consequences for troublemakers. The curfew was originally imposed after violent clashes in March over boundary disputes. Imo State Governor Hope Uzodinma has urged the Nigerian Police Force and the Department of State Service to accelerate the investigations into the hacking of Joint Admission and Matriculation Board websites. The recent website breach disrupted the 2025 Unified Tertiary Matriculation Examination, affecting over 370,000 candidates, mainly from the Southeast. Security agencies have arrested 20 suspects linked to the incidents, accused of compromising the system for payments. Governor Uzodinma praised the arrest and called for swift prosecution to deter future cybercrimes. He also commended JAMB Registrar Professor Ishak Oloyede for his efforts in preserving the integrity of the examination body. The Kano State government has announced plans to immortalize former Governor Abubakar Rimi and approved 20.3 billion naira for various capital projects. The decision was made at the second Special Executive Council meeting chaired by Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf. Funds were allocated for the completions of several 5-kilometer dualized roads in Bebeji, Dojun Wade, Gurun Malam, Bodabo, and Twayawo local government areas, which contracts revoked and re-awarded for some projects. The government also approved constructing an auditorium named after the late Governor Rimi at the NLC headquarters and renovation work including a burnt mosque, an Islamia school, office renovations and boreholes installations in Gezawa local government. A committee would assess damage caused by recent storm and investigate the vandalized Zakwachiki abattoir with plans for a modern facility on the way. The government reaffirms its commitment to transparent and impactful governance. Troops from the 3rd Division operations under Operation Safe Haven killed a bandit during a raid on a bandit camp in Pang village, Kuran Pan local government area of Plateau State. The military special task force spokesperson, Major Samson Zwakom, said the intelligence-led operations force the criminal to retreat in disarray after a gunfire exchange. One bandit was neutralized and others were wounded, with blood traces found along their escape route. The troops recovered an AK-47 rifle, a magazine, and 11 rounds of ammunition from the hideout. Security forces are continuing the pursuit of fleeing suspects and remains committed to combating criminal activities in the area. The Brave New Vision Support Group was urged Southwest members of the People's Democratic Party to back Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde's bid for the 2027 presidential election. Dr. Adeto Kumbo, Pierce, the group's convener, called on the newly inaugurated Southwest PDP Zonal Executive Committee, led by Alhaji Korudin Ajisafe, to unite the region's party structures and mobilize support for Makinde's candidacy. Pierce emphasized the importance of winning elections to implement policies that improve citizens' lives and described Makinde as the PDP best presidential candidate for 2027. Let's take a brief commercial break. Don't change the channel. We'll be right back with more exciting updates on Super Media Television. Please don't go away. Welcome back. We are glad you are here with us. And coming up next is the international business, sports, and entertainment news. On the international news, an Orthodox monk was hospitalized after a violent clash at Egbimeno Monastery on Mount Athos, northern Greece. Linked to a decades-old religious dispute, the monk, treated in Thessaloniki for facial and rib injuries, was attacked by members of a rival brotherhood during groundskeeping activities. The conflict centers on the different monks' refusal to recognize the authority of a commercial patriarchate, leading to repeated violence, legal battles, and backlogs since the 1970s, while authorities condemned the attack and called for enforcement of court orders. The breakaway brotherhood denied the allegations, accusing their rivals of staging the incident. On business news, the Naira is expected to remain stable in the short term, supported by measures from the Central Bank of Nigeria. Through a significant appreciation is unlikely due to ongoing global uncertainty. According to a report by Codros, the Naira appreciated 1.1% week on week to 1.585 USD aided by the CBN's $190.4 million intervention. It ended the week at 1,579 USD after a brief dip to 1,586 USD on Thursday. The CBN efforts, including bolstering foreign reserve, which rose to $38.54 billion, to restore confidence after last year's sharp currency devaluations. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso reaffirmed the bank's commitment to reform its aim of sustaining exchange rate stability and curbing inflation. On entertainment news, Nigerian music star Davido and entrepreneur Cubana chief priest visited Speaker of the House of Representatives Tajuddin Abbas in Abuja on Friday. The meeting followed their earlier visit to Senate President Godswill Akpabio's house. We'll be going on a commercial break. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
And much like these film festivals, the Taraba Human Rights Film Festival intends to make such an impact. But you know what? It is unique. It is talking about human rights, and that is the area we intend to impact using films. I mean, for our foreign participants, you have already sent your entries, over 1,000 of them from 100 countries all across the globe. We need you to come down to Taraba so that we can sit down together and go through them, go through our collective history, what has been, what is right now, and what should be. Together, we can come up with the standard of what human rights should be in our different countries, using films to tell our stories and to give our recommendation, if you know what I mean. Being out here is so refreshing. It takes me to the second reason why you should be part of the Taraba Human Rights International Film Festival in person. Fun fact, you know that Taraba State is home to the Mambila Plateau, which is known for its beautiful scenery and cool weather? I can tell you this for free. I am looking forward to that. And that's not all. It is home to the Kashimbila Game Reserve.
We're sorry for the technical itch. And on to sport news. The 22nd National Sport Festival Gateway Games 2024 kicked off its table tennis competitions on Saturday at Alake Sport Complex, Abeokuta. Foreign-based players Alaji Omotoyo, Aziz Solanke, and Taiwo Mati will represent Bayelsa State, while Lagos State features national champion Matthew Kutsi and Muiz Adegogbe. Other strong contenders come from Kwara, Ondo, Oyo, and Delta States. The Nigerian Table Tennis Federation's notes a slight delay in the start to commemorate a badminton's event sharing the venue. The tournament promises high-level competition, with some players arriving from the ITTF World Championship in Doha. Omotayo, Nigerian's second highest ranked player, will face tough competition from top home-based players, including Kuti, Adegope, and Abdul Basit. Oyo State experienced team led by coach Dotun Omoniyi includes seasoned players Akinwale Fagbamile and Joshua Alariran. In para table tennis, Paris, Paralympic bronze medalist Isho Okunwe will compete in the men's class 4 singles, while Commonwealth Games medalist Faith Abozowil will lead Edo State's women's para team. The event runs through May 28. That's all for this edition of News at 9 p.m. from Som TV. Before we go, here is a recap of the major headlines. On national news, deadly military attack in Taraba, Mongo, Doso, and Mungalo communities of Karim Lamido local governments. Taraba State and scores were killed as mass burial was held for victims of military attack in Taraba State. Taraba governor condemned violent attack, vows justice and security boost. Gombe government rescue 14-year-old girl from forced marriage in Taraba, promises legal action. International news. Orthodox monk injured in Mount Athos clash amidst long-standing monastic disputes. Business news. The Naira is expected to remain stable in the short term as announced by majors from Central Bank of Nigeria. Entertainment news. Davido Cubano chief priest meets Speaker Abbas, highlights music role in national unity. Sport news. Gateway Game 2024, top Nigerian table tennis stars begin medal hunt in Abeokuta. As we draw the curtain on tonight's broadcast, stay tuned for more lined up of programs from Som TV's Exciting. I'm Bridget James. Thank you for watching and goodbye for now.